How to train heavy after 60 without beating up your joints. You walk into the gym strong, experienced, disciplined, but your joints are quietly filing complaints. HR hasn't processed yet. You are not getting old, you're loading force into tissues that no longer accept sloppy reps, ego tempo, or teenage recovery math. You think heavyweight hurts joints. Wrong target, wrong tension, wrong order, and one small shift changes everything. Strength is still available. Tolerance is what changed. Distinguish muscle versus joint capacity. Heavy training is still possible. By the end, you'll know how to load heavy with less joint stress than most people lifting half your weight. Most lifters never learn where force should actually go. Number 1. Tempo is your secret weapon. Most grown men rush reps, bounce out of the bottom, drop weights fast, and call it power. It feels athletic, it feels strong, and it feels efficient, until the joints start sending quiet invoices the next morning. Speed without control shifts force away from muscle and straight into connective tissue that no longer tolerates chaos. What to do instead? Control the lowering phase for about 2 to 4 seconds. Pause briefly where tension should live, then drive up with smooth acceleration. Not slow for drama, slow for direction. You are telling the load where to go. Your tendons love time under tension, not sudden spikes. They adapt to steady force like a rope being pulled tight, not yanked. Fast eccentrics create joint shear because the muscle doesn't fully own the load. Gravity does. And gravity has terrible technique. Slow eccentrics increase muscle loading without increasing joint force. That's the loophole. Your muscles work harder, but your joints experience less abrupt stress. Think of lowering a glass gently onto a counter versus dropping it the last inch. Same object, very different impact. Controlled eccentrics have been shown to improve tendon stiffness and load tolerance, which is exactly what lets you keep lifting heavy long term. You're not just training muscle, you're upgrading the hardware that transfers force. Tempo is how you make moderate weight feel heavy, which means you get strength stimulus without joint backlash. And once force is under control, range becomes the next decision that determines whether your joints feel trained or ambushed. Number 2, range of motion isn't one size fits all. Most grown men force deep ranges because they heard full ROM is superior, so they chase depth like it's a moral victory. Knees cave, hips tuck, shoulders jam, but they still go lower because stopping early feels like quitting. That mindset loads ligaments, not muscle, and ligaments don't grow stronger from being yanked. They just get irritated. What to do instead? Use active range of motion, the range where muscle controls the load, not passive tissue. The bottom position of any lift should feel like tension, not compression. If the sensation is pressure in the joint instead of effort in the muscle, you've gone past your usable range. Depth where your spine stays stable beats arbitrary depth every time. A squat that keeps tension in the hips and thighs builds strength. A squat that turns into lower back rounding turns into joint stress with a barbell on top. More range is only better if you can own it. Box squats, floor presses, and controlled partials are joint strategies, not signs of weakness. They let you train hard inside your strongest angles while keeping joints out of positions they no longer reward. That's precision, not ego protection. Think of a door hinge versus a rubber band. A hinge has a set path. Force it beyond that path and something breaks. Your joints behave more like hinges than elastic bands, especially under load. Take shoulders. Pressing to ear level keeps tension in muscle. Pressing behind the neck often dumps stress into joint structures that were never designed for loaded end ranges. High-level athletes train within their ranges, not someone else's ideal. Range of motion determines where force travels. Next, we control where that force begins. Number 3, machines aren't cheating, they're strategic. Most grown men avoid machines because they think free weights are the only real training. They treat machines like an admission of decline, so they grind through barbell lifts even when joints are whispering complaints. That's not toughness. That's refusing to use the right tool for the job. What to do instead? Use machines to load muscles hard while reducing unnecessary stabilization stress. You still train intensely, but you remove variables that joints must manage under fatigue. Free weights are excellent for coordination, balance, and total body integration. They teach your body to work as a system. But that same demand for stabilization increases joint unpredictability when loads get heavy. Machines guide the path, which lets muscle produce force without joints absorbing random shifts. This is where heavy muscle stimulus meets joint strategy. A leg press lets you challenge the quads and hips without spinal compression variables. A hack squat provides leg loading with more controlled torso positioning. Chest-supported rows train the back without your lower back acting as a tired assistant. Think of it like driving. Free weights are off-road terrain, valuable but demanding. Machines are highways, stable, efficient, and built for sustained load. Both have a place, but you don't drive off-road every day if you want the vehicle to last. Machine-focused phases can extend your lifting career because they let you train around joint stress while keeping muscle stimulus high. This is how strong lifters stay strong instead of cycling through flare-ups. High-level lifters rotate tools, not egos. The goal is stimulus, not proving loyalty to an implement. Now that load is smarter, the next step is preparing tissues so they're ready to accept it. Number 4, warm up like it's part of the workout. Most grown men treat the warm-up like a formality. A few arm swings, one light set, then straight to heavy weight. That approach worked when joints forgave shortcuts. Now it's the fastest way to feel stiff, unstable, and irritated before the session even starts. What to do instead? Think in 3 layers: tissue prep, movement prep, and neural prep. You're not just getting warm, you're preparing structures to accept force. Blood flow matters more than most realize. Warmer tissue moves smoother, and better circulation reduces joint friction. Stiff tissue under load behaves like a dry hinge. It resists, then complains. Even a few minutes of controlled movement changes how joints feel under the bar. Isometrics are powerful here. Brief holds and safe joint angles can calm tendon pain signals and improve force transfer. You're telling the nervous system the position is safe before you add motion. That alone can change how a lift feels. Gradual loading wakes up stabilizers. Small muscles around joints need reminders before they do their job well. If they stay asleep, larger muscles and joints absorb stress they shouldn't. Use a simple warm-up ladder, mobility to open usable ranges, light tempo reps to groove control, brief pauses to build stability, then your work sets. Each step builds on the last instead of shocking the system. Think of warming up like starting a car engine on a cold morning. You wouldn't floor it immediately and expect long-term performance. Mechanical systems last when they're brought online gradually. Your body is no different. There's also a mental shift. A proper warm-up builds confidence. Your body trusts the load because you've shown it what's coming. Even with perfect strategy, one final rule determines how long you stay strong. Before we move to the bonus point, I want you to do one small thing to show you're part of this community. In the comments below, type control over ego. Not because I'm asking you to, but because it's a statement of identity. It shows you're serious about training smart, respecting your joints, and staying consistent without letting ego dictate every rep. This is your mark as someone who lifts with intelligence, not just effort. Go ahead, put it down, and own it. Bonus point. Train around pain, not through it. This bonus point is for those of you who've made it this far, our real community members. You're the ones who show up consistently, think smart, and treat your body like an investment, not a punishment. The wrong way? Ignoring pain signals and pushing through sharp joint discomfort, pretending toughness is measured by endurance. That's how small aches turn into long-term setbacks. What to do instead? Modify angles, grips, stances, or tools. Swap a barbell for a dumbbell. Adjust stance width. Change bench angle. Muscle burn is normal and productive. Joint pain is a signal mismatch. It tells you where force is going wrong. Pain changes motor patterns, which increases injury risk if ignored. Think of it like GPS rerouting. You don't stop the trip because there's a blocked road. You find a better route to the same destination. Your longevity in the gym depends on this mindset. It's not about proving toughness, it's about proving intelligence. Train smart, adjust when necessary, and your joints will thank you for decades. Let's review what keeps you training heavy without beating up your joints. Number 1, tempo protects joints by controlling force. Number 2, personal range of motion protects your structure. Number 3, machines extend your strength lifespan strategically. Number 4, warm-ups create joint readiness and confidence. Bonus, pain is information, not a challenge. Adapt, don't ignore. Subscribe to Strengthmatrix and hit the notification bell. We deliver this level of intelligent, actionable content daily, all designed to help you become the most capable version of yourself.